Okay. Picking up. Hello. Let's see. All right. Testing. Hello. All right. So comment in the chat if you can hear me, because it's really delayed, I guess. Hello. It's way delayed. All right. So trying something different here. We're going to be streaming my reaction, I guess, to Talentless Nana, Chapter 70. So yeah, cover page is Nana and yeah, the color page of the chapter is titled, or the chapter is titled Reunion. So cover page is of Nana and Nakajima. So to start off, chapter says, was it 3 years ago that you were in solitary confinement at HQ, which is Nakajima talking. Nana says, I'm very glad to have been let out. And then he explains this place is still basically a prison, Nakajima says. Then Nana says, I heard talented individuals and their associates are captured around the country and quarantined here. Nakajima says, that's current policy. A basic residential area has been established and they're allowed to bear the bare necessities. And then Nakajima says, compared to being covertly killed, it's far more humane, don't you think? Yeah, I guess kind of probably taking a shot at her. Then there's a huge line of people, and it says, Nakajima says, meals are distributed twice a day at mostly rock-hard bread with plain broth, though. And he says, fights often break out. And then we see Moguro and his guy, and he's like, at the counter, seemingly doing something, and he yells, please, just one more loaf of bread. Sota's had a fever since yesterday. And then, yeah, it says, for someone who can't come here himself, I'm not trying to cheat the system. Come on, please. And then Nakajima says, oh, it's Moguro. And then, I guess he accidentally ends up knocking the food over and says, let me go, damn it. And then he tries to use his fireball, says, damn it. And then he's like about to punch, it looks like, or throw it at someone. And then Nakajima grabs his arm and says, hey, you've lost a lot of weight. And then the fireball goes away and he says, Moguro yells, Nakajima. And he says, you know this camp is intended to turn you guys into normal people, so why are you using your talent when the rules forbid it? And then he yells, even when we follow the rules, you don't treat us like human beings. And then he just says, ha ha ha. You should be grateful we're not killing you. And then Moguro says, don't lie to me. How many people do you think died because of your whims? And he says, and I know all about you, the people you drag off the camps. The people you drag off to the camp headquarters. And then he sees Nana. And Moguro says, Nana-chan. And then says, Nakajima like waves her over and hands her something and says, here. And Nana says, you want me to punish him? And then Nakajima says, good guess. Your job is to manage and observe them. I'll be testing you to make sure you can do it. And then he says, what's wrong? Moguro broke the rules. He deserves to be punished. And then he says, if you don't want to do it, I'll have you sent back to solitary confinement. And then someone comes over saying, "Sir," he says, and then it says, "A talented individual is causing trouble at the Western District." Nakajima says, "Again." And then he says, "Can't be helped. We'll hurry there immediately." And he says, "See you later, Nana-chan. We've got matters to attend to, and we'll be stepping away." Blah. Then he says, "Make sure to discipline Moguro properly," and then Nakajima just vanishes. Then Moguro says, "Nana-chan, and he says, "You're alive. I'm glad." And then she says, "Glad?" And he says, I'm sorry. I've always wanted to apologize to you 3 years ago, even though I confessed to me." Or then, yeah. She says, "3 years ago, even though I confessed to my crimes, nobody listened to me." And then he says, Moguro says, "Back then, we'd all lost our minds. It was Nakajima. Something happens to you when he stares at you." And she, unclicks the thing. And yeah, Mogo's backing up, and she's like, "How dare you all gang up on me and attack me?" The look she gives him. And then he screams and tries to run away, knocks over some food. And then she's just like, "Please don't try to run." And then one of his partners is like, "Boss." And then he says, "Don't, huh?" And then she hits him. Or she grabs him by the shirt and then hits him over it or something. And then says, "I'm tired. Nothing good comes from defying Nakajima and Tsuruoka." And then he claps. Or yeah, Nakajima claps. Yeah, because he was behind her. He just went invisible or something. And she says, "Nakajima, you're still here." And then he says, "Sorry, it's true that I need to go right away, but first I wanted to test you." Then Nana says, "What do you mean?" And he says, "You once had a change of heart and defied Tsuruoka. So I pretended to disappear because I wanted to see if you'd properly punish Moguro-kun." And then she says, "I see. I'm sorry for making you worry about that." And gives the cane back and says, "By the way, my ability to vanish is just a little trick I can pull off with people's perceptions. When viewed calmly through something like a camera, people will often be able to see me." And then she says, "And a mirror works as well." And then yeah, background goes dark, and then yeah, you just see Nana silent. And then he says, "Nana-chan, while walking through the town earlier, you said your shoes felt loose and crouched. There were pieces of broken traffic mirrors scattered all over the ground, or scattered on the ground." And then twitches her arm, and then yeah, you just see her face is deadpan. So he walks over and slides her sleeve up. He's like, "Huh? Maybe I was wrong. It's not over. It's not over here either." And then she's like, "What? What's the meaning of this?" And he says, In other words, yeah. I thought you struck Moguro-kun because you used a mirror to confirm I was still present." And then Nana's like, "I don't have the courage or motivation for tricks like that anymore." Then Nakajima's like, "I believe you. Okay, then I'll assign someone to you. Follow their instructions." And then she says, "Oh, that's right. On the island above the cliff, when I still believed you were a talented individual who could read minds, I genuinely thought, I hope we can be friends, or hope we can continue to be friends." And then yeah, there's a gust of wind. And yeah, then later, seemingly at night, you have Moguro and his friend, and then forgot the dude's name, and then he says, "Nana-chan, she's changed, hasn't she? Even under the circumstances, if Nana-chan were here, isn't that what you said, boss? But she seems totally different to Nakajima now." And then he says, "About that," and then he pulls something out of his pants, just like a bag or something. So yeah, a piece of bread. That's what she actually hit. And Moguro says, "I'm not sure exactly what happened, but in that moment," and yeah, she said, please try not to run. And then he said, fake it. Or Nana said, fake it. And he said, I thought Nana-chan had struck me in the stomach, but it didn't hurt that much. Before I knew it, this was stuffed beneath my clothes, this rock-hard bread. And yeah, it says, boss. Or yeah. His friend says, boss, you've lost a ton of weight. You're swimming in your clothes. So you pretended to be unconscious. And then he says, no, I really did black out. I was so scared. And his friend says, I see. Can only assume Nana-chan shoved this bread under my clothes at some point. Come to think of it, I feel like she chased me toward the tent behind me. So ultimately, you were able to get bread for Sota too, which means, what is Nana-chan up to? Right, and then you see some like apartment-looking place. Nana-chan is led to a room, and the guy says, "This is your room. It's got water and gas." And she says, "Thank you." And then the guy says, "You watchmen are camp cowards who suck up to us so you can prolong your lives as much as possible. I hope you enjoy being hated by other talented individuals." Then the guy leaves and says, "That's right. It's only natural that the talented individuals would hate me after everything I've done." Then you have past Nana. She says, "So, if I'm still being kept alive after confessing to my crimes, then I'll save the others and we'll escape from this place." And then she's like, "I'm amazed he noticed I secretly picked that up, but I didn't have to use the mirror then. He may be able to disappear, but he doesn't become a ghost who leaves behind footprints, or who leaves no footprints." So yeah, he supposedly walked away from the muddy ground. There was no way he could have done it without leaving footprints. And then yeah, someone says, "Oh." There's Kyoya. Says, "So you're the new watchman." And then yeah, Nona is shocked because says, Kyoya comes out, says, "So you're the new watchman." And then Kyoya says, "I'm Onodera Kyoya, the leader of the watchmen. What's your name?" And so, yeah, something's happened to Kyoya clearly. But yeah, pretty good video, or pretty good chapter. We got 3-year time skip in this, starting off this new arc. We got Nana, who's trying to save everyone now that she's like inside, I guess. Or she's gonna like use her job but try to save everyone, it seems. Kind of how she's going about it, like she did with Moguro just now. She didn't really kind of played it up like she was attacking him when she really wasn't. But yeah, it was a good chapter. If y'all enjoyed it, then or have any comments, then leave a comment on the video or on the stream. But yeah, I think it was a good one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm more curious about what's going on with Kyoya, since he clearly doesn't know who Nana is from the way he's talking, so seemingly they've like wiped his memory somehow. Apparently he's the one in charge of the Watchmen, which is, or the leader, as he says. But yeah, the way he's talking to Nana is like he doesn't recognize her, saying, "So you're the new Watchman," and then he's like, Nana's visibly like shocked by this, which is pretty nice. Also, we got the bit of an explanation or thing we knew about Nakajima's power being like works through perception. So if you see him or he sees you, then he can do stuff to you. That's why they jumped Nana before us, because he like tampered with their minds via his nullification power. But yeah, so the way she got out of the situation without getting caught, as it says, is that she didn't really have to use the mirror to know that he didn't walk away. Because if he just went invisible and was still there, because otherwise there would have been footprints, like she said. Or yeah, like no way he could have just could have walked away without leaving footprints. When he like turned around and walked away, but he didn't. So yeah, good chapter. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, the stream. If you did, and like the video, share it, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see y'all next time.